Welcome to Zach to the Future. I'm your co-host, Dashel Driscoll, joined today by the runner-up of the Malibu Sands ATV race, Mark Paul Gosselaar. Hello, Mark Paul.
I was robbed, Dashel. Hello, but I was robbed. But now we'll get into it.
Sure.
You know, bumping is racing. Racing is bumping.
Yeah.
Or what is that saying that they said in Days of Thunder?
Oh, I thought you were going to say Talladega Nights. That's the only racing movie I really know off the top of my head.
Maybe it was Talladega Nights. Maybe it was that.
They say Shake and Bake in Talladega Nights. I don't know. Days of Thunder is probably, it's more in line with what you said. I also know the Fast and Furious movies. Do you want me to quote those? They race in those movies.
God, no. There's way too many for you to quote.
There's 9, plus a Hobbs and Shaw.
Have you seen all 9? Isn't it like
I've seen
9 now?
I've seen all 9 of them, with the exception of the new one, which I've only seen once. But I've seen all of them multiple times.
Wait, you've seen the new one already?
I braved the inside of a movie theater, maskless, for the first time since the pandemic. To see Fast and Furious 9, or F9, excuse me. This is a free plug, by the way.
Yeah, this is a free plug, by the way. Vin Diesel, you're welcome.
Please do the podcast, Vin Diesel. We'd love to have you on.
Exactly. But back up here. You went to a movie theater.
Yes.
That's pretty cool. I haven't been to one in years before the pandemic hit.
Sure.
I don't see myself going anytime soon unless my kids want to go.
Okay.
But we have a really nice TV. I just... I don't know that I ever need to go back to a theater. And I know it's bad for the industry that I'm in.
Right.
But I really don't like to be around people watching something else because inevitably somebody just fucks up in the theater.
Yeah.
I mean, people talk, they check their phones. They're not as invested as I am, or maybe more invested sometimes. That's the opposite.
Yeah. Well, you can go Tuesday. You can go like Tuesday afternoon if you want. No,
you can't. You can't do that anymore. Well, you can, but I'm telling you, I've done that, right? I'm like, I'm going to go 3 weeks after the movie's released. Sure. I'm going to go in the afternoon. It's going to be nice and quiet. And then somebody's in there. Yeah. And they think like it's a meeting, like it's a quiet place to have a rendezvous with someone, and you're like, dude.
Well, the ticket says A Quiet Place if that's what you're seeing. I mean, A Quiet Place Part 2.
Okay, so you went to the theaters,
yes,
which is amazing. You said you went maskless. I did. Yeah. I don't know how I find that. I know you can. You're vaccinated, and
I am,
and stuff.
I have 4 doses just to be safe. You got to be safe.
We laugh about
I'm joking.
that, but
that's
now
a joke,
they're talking about getting the booster, and like
pandemic
we're all gonna have to get another shot here real soon.
I've tried. I know the maskless thing may be a little controversial or can make people a little nervous, but I'm trying to, in the same way I did for 15 months or so, trust the science, to be like, hey, if they're saying this is okay and largely seems to be, I will trust the science. Has been my through line.
People around you? Were you close to
it was a
other
packed
people?
theater, yeah. And some of those people were in masks. Some of those people were like,
understand this.
and I felt crazy. I was like, am I losing my mind being in a public place without a mask? And I was like, I don't know, maybe not.
Now, I would have no problem with being maskless if I was at say a baseball game, right?
Yeah,
I know we know Dodger Stadium is now at capacity. I plan on going to a game. I don't think I'm going to wear a mask. I feel like I'm outside. Inside, I have a bit of an issue with. Like if I'm going to be in a packed room with a bunch of people that you don't know, I'd be a little uneasy. I was just on a flight, and they still require you to board the plane with a mask. I don't know in the future that I will ever not wear a mask on a flight because I actually dug it.
I would do that. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm with you on that though. Like I will wear masks on planes, but that's mostly out of like when I land where I'm going, I don't want to be sick,
Yeah, I'm cool with like not being, because I feel like every time I have flown in the past, I was always sick afterwards, and that could be a bunch of things. It could be the dehydration, it could be anything. I actually like it because I don't have to smell like my seat partner who just shit his pants on the flight, and we're in this close capsule. Yeah. So I have my mask that kind of buffers the smell of his ass.
His shit in pants.
I mean, it's inevitably, but Yeah, there is. And then, there's always that person that starts sneezing uncontrollably, and then they blame it. They look at you and they go, "Oh, sorry, it's allergies." Bullshit.
No, you're
it's
dying.
not allergies.
You have a deadly illness.
Dying.
Yeah, you have a deadly illness.
So I'm okay with I'm okay with wearing a mask on a flight. But anyway, so let's get to this.
Why don't we do the episode? Sure, we could be here all day on masks and Fast and Furious. It was good, by the way, in case you're wondering. Let's finish that free plug.
Yeah,
I liked it.
F9. F9 was
I liked
good.
it, yeah.
It
knows what it is.
It gets your thumbs up.
It gets the official worth nothing to anyone Dash O'Driscoll seal of approval. But speaking of seals of approval, seals, they're at the beach. What a smooth transition. We're at another Beach Club episode. Yeah, I know. This is episode 42, Mark Paul. I'm with it. Let's do that recap in case you didn't do the homework for My Boyfriend's Back. Zach and Stacy's relationship is advancing, and Zach almost tells Stacy he loves her on a date. He plans to do it later the next day. It's the charity ATV race at the Malibu Sands. Lisa's family sponsors Zach. A guy named Craig shows up at the beach club who is apparently Stacy's boyfriend from back east. Zach learns about Craig, and his anger turns to heartbreak when Craig gives Stacy his fraternity pin without her advanced knowledge in a very weird ceremony hosted by Mr. Carosi. Craig dangerously cheats at the ATV race. Unrelated, Jessie almost drives her ATV into the Pacific Ocean. And despite winning the race, Craig loses Stacy. She sends him packing, and Zach and Stacy say, "I love you," and kiss on the beach, Mark Paul, the end. And we're in Act 1. Just like that, back at the Malibu Sands.
And we open up with a new opening shot where it's nighttime and the sands is lit up.
Looks like a Coachella, the palm trees with the lighting. I love it.
That's right.
Yeah, it's fun stuff.
Well done with that. I don't know why I find that so funny.
Me neither. I don't know. Maybe you're drunk. Maybe I missed something. You just snuck a few shots when I wasn't looking. And Stacy has she's just as bad an employee as Zach, I guess. She snuck in for a little late night treat.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. We come back to the place where we work.
Yeah, after a day
to get snacks. She says, you paid for the movie, and I'm going to pay for the snacks.
Yeah. Oh, wait, before we exit this quick opening shot, I did notice your shirt, or excuse me, Zach's shirt, same pattern as the chairs and or I guess the booths. I thought that was just fun and neat. That's all.
All right, you talked about me taking shots. Are you high?
I'm so high, Mark Paul. I'm so high on life and drugs. What a combo. If you ever get the chance to mix them.
Your shirt matches the drapes, dude.
It does. I mean,
does the carpet? What does that say? I don't know.
You know what
I'm
it is.
so drunk. I don't even know.
The two of us. Look, like I've told bartenders around the world in airports, I'm not flying the plane, and neither are you, Mark Paul. So go nuts. But yeah, Stacy is cheap date is one thing. Like, can you do this anywhere else than where I work, where I'm employed? I don't want to be back here after a movie.
I really enjoyed watching this episode. I thoroughly enjoyed watching the chemistry between these two.
It's real.
At some point, we're going to get Leah on the show, and because I don't remember, surprise, surprise. But there's definitely like chemistry between Zach and Stacy, and I know that I still really adore Leah. I think she's awesome. But I like seeing these two. Sometimes I have a hard time watching Zach and Kelly. And I love Tiffany. I mean, Tiffany and I still have a great relationship to this day, but I don't see the chemistry sometimes on screen. I see the chemistry with these two.
Yeah, you're right. And again, part of why fans love these beach episodes so much is the Zach and Stacy of it all.
Yeah, and you would think because, when you're watching the when we're at school, it's the relationship between Zach and Kelly. And Kelly, we eventually get married. That's what you tell me. And I guess that's what I know because I'm doing the reimagining.
And spoiler alert, you were there the whole time, but right.
Yeah. But it is nice to see the audience of the show accept Stacy, because they easily could have been like, no, that's not Kelly. We're team, what they take a name, double
Zelly.
name like Zelly.
Better than CAC.
Or CAC. I like CAC.
Okay. Right,
Team CAC.
Sure, why not?
Let's ship them,
okay.
Dashel.
Wow, look at you. You're a regular youth.
Yeah. Look at I first learned about what shipping was when I was on the show Pitch, and they were like Lawson and Baker, and they called us Bosson. And they were like, let's ship Boston. And I was like, what is
What the
that?
fuck is this? You got on the phone with your agent? Like,
What
I
are
think I'm
these-
getting
what are
fired
these-
by some loser on Twitter. What's the ship? Do I need to look for a new job? What's going on here?
I was all for that shipping. I'm all for this shipping.
Okay.
Let's just ship.
Yeah. Let's
Team-
ship our pants.
Team
Why not?
CAC. And this is this would be Stacy and Zach. So this would be
Stack.
Stack.
Yeah. Or
Hey,
Zacy.
Team Stack.
Zacy's got something there. I don't know. Kind of like Zacy.
Hmm.
We'll
right.
workshop it. We'll figure it out by the end of this.
We'll work on it.
And by this, I mean life. I don't mean this podcast. Here's what I have in my notes here, Mark Paul, is Stacy says, I'm looking for the good stuff. What the hell is she making, Zach? This sandwich is margarine, white bread. What is that? Salami? Not even salami. I don't even like some
I think
meat.
it's bologna.
Bologna. That's what it is.
bologna.
That's bologna.
That's
It's too big to
bologna.
be salami. And American cheese. That is a truly disgusting
No,
sandwich.
sir.
Is that cheddar?
You cannot call that cheese because I think
product.
those are like Kraft singles,
cheese product,
which
right.
I did my homework on this one.
Mm.
You cannot call Kraft singles cheese. You have to, this is the phrase, this is the terminology you have to use. Pasteurized, processed cheese food.
Okay.
So you can't call it cheese because
It's not.
technically it's like 51% cheese
Oh, God.
and the rest is like added fillers. So you can't call it cheese.
I'm making a face, listeners.
Because cheese,
I made a face.
yeah,
and
cheese
added
is like,
fillers.
I think the ingredients of cheese are just milk and maybe possibly salt and something else.
I think love is in there as an active ingredient.
I don't think so. But if,
I
if
love
that's what your
cheese.
mama told you.
Yeah. I love cheese.
Dude, I love Kraft singles. There's no better cheese to make grilled cheese sandwich
So true.
with
It's so true.
than the Kraft singles.
Like you can pretend. I mean, you can have like a pepper jack grilled cheese and be like, this is good, or standard
That's
cheddar.
bougie, though.
Yeah, no, but
That's
you
bougie.
can like put on airs about your grilled cheese, but at the end of the day,
Sure.
the true Kraft cheese food, grilled cheese, that's where
Yep.
it's at. I agree.
Staple.
Yeah, timeless. Well, but Stacy's not melting that
But-
cheese, Mark Paul. This sandwich is
No,
gross.
she's
I go
not,
back to
she's
it.
really
This
not.
is
And
fucking
here's
disgusting.
a thing I have. I have to toast my bread.
Yes.
Right? If I have a
Sure.
sandwich or something, unless it's like really fresh white bread or something like that, I still have to toast my bread for sandwiches. Lightly toasted, just a little dusting.
Okay.
Same with a bagel. I like a little dusting, and you use that bagel setting where one side is toasted and the other side isn't, which is amazing. But she's just putting margarine on white toast, like white
Disgusting.
bread. And what the fuck are you gonna do? You're gonna put cheese on top of that with bologna? By the way, my mom used to always send me to school with cheese sandwiches, and she would butter the bread. It's just a thing. Like not only just like a layer, a thick layer of cheese, and then a thick layer of butter, and then a cheese slice on it.
I have like I think you just like unlocked a memory. I have like a vague recollection of eating a butter sandwich before. Like literally just bread with butter. But I feel like no self-respecting adult, I feel like I must have asked for this. Like I feel like that must have been some like weird child thing. Be like, can you just put butter on bread?
Toast
Yeah,
with,
I guess
if
you're
you
right, yeah.
toast something and you put butter on it,
Go to
that's
a restaurant,
amazing.
it's just butter on bread. Yeah, you're right.
Oh,
But to eat it in
love
sandwich
that
form,
with
was I a sicko as a child? Be like, just give me that butter and bread.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I'm not a mayo guy, so like, I guess it's no different than putting a spread of margarine or mayo. It
feels different.
to me. It's the same thing. Like, I don't like that on there. But yeah, margarine. Like,
I mean,
of
Zach
all things.
must really love her then because she's preparing him a sandwich fit for rodents, and he is about to pop the L word.
Yeah, there's a lot of like dead air here before I'm about to say I love. I actually thought there was something wrong with my sound. Like there was nothing being said for 3 seconds, and I was like, what's going on here? There's like dead air. It's like you can't have that.
Awkward silence.
But yeah, the what is it? The red herring where I'm about to say something and then I say something else.
Oh, I don't like that in TV. And I guess this was it's for kids. It's easier to do the trope, but that thing of like, I like clouds. Look at that cloud. That thing drives me nuts when I see it in a TV show.
Yeah.
Or a movie for that
I'm
matter.
with you.
Yeah. But look, it's for kids. I get it. I like that Stacey has you pegged as a lazy, gnarly, scheming California dude. Really, really does seem to understand the the core ethos here. And nothing wrong with it. I mean, Zach is a lazy, scheming, gnarly California dude.
There's a lot of smiles going on. I like the smiles in these scenes between these two.
Oh, here's that kiss in the kitchen.
Serious kiss.
Look at that. You're right about the chemistry.
We get serious.
It is so much real. It is so much more palpable that you guys have chemistry. Maybe it's also like, I mean, again, I would love to hear Leah's take on it, but maybe it's like, this is a new person in your life that you're meeting versus like you kind of grew up with Tiffany a little bit. There have been a few years kind of there.
Or maybe Tiffany's boyfriend wasn't at the, in the audience watching us kiss.
Right. You mean
that always
Leah's
seems
boyfriend.
to dampen the mood. Yeah. Well, exactly.
Yeah.
Because that was, we've talked about that in the past whenever I was having romantic scenes with Tiffany, her older boyfriend would be
That's
right there.
That's right.
Watching the monitors while we were canoodling. And just like that, we're outside at the Malibu Sands patio.
We are. Where this is like the meanest thing I think Jesse's ever said on the show is, Kelly, are you taking stupid vitamins again? I
laughed.
What a thing
I
to say
laughed.
to someone. Mark Paul, let me just paint you a picture. Can you imagine you were sitting at a table with a close friend of yours and they say something and you turn to them like, are you taking your stupid vitamins again? They'd probably hit you. I don't know who wouldn't throw a punch at words like that.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was great. A great line, great delivery. And Tiffany's reaction as Kelly was gold as well. So
yeah, really good stuff. Everyone hanging out, that like beach hangout vibe. I also have my notes here.
Yeah.
Why isn't Zach wearing a shirt? A little too casual.
I was just going to say that. Like, we're all hanging out.
Casual.
What am I doing? What am I doing? And by the way, this is, I guess, before, fake tans, like spray on stuff. Like, I'm pretty white.
Yeah, you're not showing anything off to the crowd here.
No. I mean, I know now, like, whenever I take off my shirt for anything,
sure,
we spend a good 20 minutes in the makeup department spraying, fake tanner on me, or at least wiping something on me to make me look a little darker. It just looks a little bit better with the lights and the cameras. It's just more definition. That's why bodybuilders do that, is to show a little bit more definition. I think it would have been helped if I had done that. I'm sitting there with my shirt off next to Mario, so I need all the help I can get, guys.
Yeah, I thought it was you. I thought Mario like had his shirt off for story, like he's a lifeguard, and you were like, maybe I just popped my shirt off, and they're like, yeah, sure, whatever. That's how it looked to me.
I don't think that I would have volunteered to take my shirt off.
You think someone else was like, this would be good for everyone showing a little skin, like?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. I know that even to this day, if somebody says you have to take your shirt off, it's something that I would not look forward to.
Sure.
There's a lot of work that goes into taking your shirt off. I mean, you're going to be doing push-ups. You're going to be doing curls with a sandbag from the grips, the grip department. You're going to be, like I said, putting self-tanner on, and it's just a whole process. You're going to be, now you got to groom and make sure that you don't have a big nipple hair or something, because people just don't like long nipple hairs.
No, they want a medium length nipple hair. Obviously, I mean, it's show business.
Obviously,
let's give the people what they want. In comes one Mr. Carosi, looking great, by the way. I do love these little jumpsuits they have you guys in. He's riding an ATV. Did a teeny tiny bit of homework here. ATVs, Mark Paul, date back to the year 1893, if you can believe that one. The popular style as we know them, the popular ATVs at the time were three-wheelers up until they were discontinued by manufacturers in 87 for safety and replaced in 82 with the four-wheel models we all know and love. And this KLF 300B3 was a real ATV. That's the words coming out of Slater's mouth are the actual words for this ATV.
Yes, and I'm going to give you a little lesson here, Dashel. Mr. Carosi refers to it as this is a ATV rider. No, sir. It's just called an ATV.
Yeah.
Do you know what ATV stands for?
Come on. All-terrain vehicle.
There you go.
I got it.
And this particular model, the KLF 300B3, is a Kawasaki.
Mm-hmm.
It's called a Kawasaki Bayou.
Yeah.
The green bikes are Kawasaki's, red or Honda, yellow. Back then, yellow would have been like Yamaha, and now Yamahas are blue. Yellow also is Suzuki, but this green one, Kawasaki. That's a big ATV. That's like a utility ATV. That's something you take on the ranch, and it's got a rack on it, rack on front, rack on the back.
To haul animals or whatever. Like you got to haul something on those racks, I would reckon.
Yeah, I mean, my brother has a few of these on his ranch in Idaho, and we've put, he's put a couple elk, or you couldn't put an elk on there. Things are huge, but you do put other stuff on there. You put a cooler. How about that? A cooler filled with White Claws.
Sodas.
While you
if it's filled with diet sodas.
White Claws. Have you ever had a White Claw?
I actually somehow have made it this far in life. They've only been around a couple of years. I have not yet had a White Claw. I'm waiting for the moment.
I had one a month ago.
How was the experience?
And,
is this a free plug?
Well, no, it's not. And the people handed it to me. I'm like, I said the same thing that you just said. I was like, oh, it's been 2 years. I've never had a White Claw. They're like, it's life changing.
I hate that.
It's not.
It's never going to be.
It's never.
You need you got to undersell. If they worked in a car dealership, they'd be out of the job minute one. You need to be like, this car, you don't even really want it. And then people are going to be like, wait a minute.
My thing, if I was selling this thing, I would say, do you like sparkling water? And people go, yeah. Do you like it with an essence of a hint of some sort of alcohol? Sure. Then White Claw's for you.
Give it a try.
I particularly like to have my alcohol, smack me in the face. That's what I want.
Okay.
But these things are like, oh, look at that. I'm drinking, I'm staying hydrated while drinking something with minimal amounts of alcohol. Well, what's the point? You have to drink like 6 of these to get a little bit of a buzz. That's too much.
I agree. It's too much liquid. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Not into that.
Okay. I have here in my notes, Mark Paul, it seems like the Malibu Sands could have raised more money for charity had they not rented these very expensive vehicles. And I think we've talked about charity fundraising before, like the balance of like you got to spend money to make money. But like, what's the point of this shit? Besides, it's fun for TV.
I don't know. And then he like backs it up in reverse by
destroys it
accident. But see, that's the thing. He doesn't destroy it. He blames it on terrorists. He's like, some terrorist must have put this thing in reverse. Yeah. I'm like, whoa, that word. I don't remember hearing that word until after 2001.
It was around. I mean, we're post what? This is 91 here.
92, 91.
I don't know. Jesus Christ,
we're so high.
It's amazing. I smoked 3 White Claws before this started. That's the name of the strain. There was like the Die Hard movies, and like I feel like the idea in action films of terrorists enter a space and they hold everyone hostage was like a common film trope post Die Hard. You saw it like 30 different ways. Under Siege, Cliffhanger, you name it. So I feel like terrorism was like in the pop culture zeitgeist, but obviously not the same way we understood it, after 9/11.
Well, he comes over, Slater comes over, and you just said he destroys the thing. He doesn't destroy the thing. He destroyed whatever that fence is that he ran into, or lounge chairs. That's what that is. Yeah. And Slater's like looking down at Carosi's right foot, and he's like, you jammed the throttle and bent the clutch. Dude, he hit the back of the ATV. That's not where the clutch is. That's not where the throttle is. The throttle, by the way, on these little things. I don't know if you ever ridden one of these things.
I have. Ridden an ATV before. Yeah.
Okay, it's not like a twist thing. It's a thumb thing. It's like you use your thumb to go. It's kind of like a jet ski.
Yeah.
Or they call them like what? They don't call them jet skis anymore. They call them like wave runners or something.
I think jet ski. I mean, I knew what you were talking about. I would not be confused if someone's like the jet ski. I would be like, what?
It's with your thumb.
Yeah.
It's with your thumb. And I've never been a fan of ATVs or remember the 3-wheeled ones?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, those were death traps, man. You just like flip those all the time. But I remember being a kid and getting my legs stuck between the rear wheel and I guess like the flap or something.
It's
and
gnarly.
it just tore up my leg. My son 2 years ago in Idaho at my brother's flipped one of these things on a fire road, like was going down and flipped this thing and like scraped himself up and talk about
heavy.
damage
Like,
to the.
you can really fuck yourself up. I had a friend. I mean, similar. I think everyone has a ranch story in relation to an ATV of like, someone with a ranch and like a bunch of teenagers took these ATVs out and like someone almost died and they didn't go to the hospital, but it was like we all had this moment afterwards of like, oh my God, like they almost fucking died. An inch to the left, this thing would be on their head.
Yeah, no, I have a divot in my left leg on my shin from one of these things too. And my background is motocross. Like I raced motorcycles when I was 3 years old. I started riding when I was 3. I started racing when I was 5. And my last race was when I was 35. I mean, I've been on bikes my entire life. And but I've never been more fucked up than I've been on these ATVs. And the divot in my left leg was caused from just, doing like a casual ride on this thing. I was wearing jeans because you're not going to be, you're not going to take these things seriously and get in like your motocross boots and your pads and all that stuff. But when I just went on a ride with this dude and my shin got dinged by the foot peg or something, and when we got back, I went to the bathroom. I was like, man, my leg still hurts. I took my pants down and noticed like I could see my bone,
Jesus Christ,
my shin bone. I almost passed out right there on the toilet. And still, like if I have this gnarly scar from these dumb ATVs.
They're like deceivingly safe looking because it feels like you have 4 wheels on the ground, so it's like they're balanced. But like, it does not take much for them to get away from you. Safety alert, guys. Be safe on your all-terrain vehicles out there this summer. Look at this slap Slater takes. Boom. Takes it from Carosi. Doesn't turn early. A big faux pas when you're about to get slapped on screen. And Zach here says he has a major case of the big L. I just thought this was all moving like very fast. I mean, I know we have to. There's only 6 episodes at the beach, but like, I love you seems awfully fast, even for, teenagers. Maybe especially for teenagers.
Well, I don't know. I was always one to just say, I love you and didn't think it was so weighted to be able to say that.
Of course you did. I mean, you were on this show where Zach was throwing him out to anyone who shot him in eye contact.
Dealing out the L's.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, I think, being a teenager and just saying, I love you. That's not a bad thing. I mean,
it's not a bad thing. It just feels very like, I guess I put so much emphasis and weight on those.
You're putting
terms.
a lot of weight on that. Yeah, you're putting a lot of weight, but you're more evolved. You're more adult.
Am I? Okay. I'm not sure I am always, but maybe I'm just full of more fear. Maybe that's it. Zach here mentions Paradise Cove. Mark Paul, Paradise Cove still exists. It's a real place in Malibu. Have you been there before?
Absolutely. Good place to get some brunch.
It's great.
I remember going to Paradise Cove with none other than Noah Wiley with our kids. I was going through a divorce and he had his kids. I don't know if he was going through one as well. I really don't know. But he was with his 2 kids and I was with my 2 kids and my kids were 6 and 4 at the time. And we were having a brunch, Noah Wiley and myself with our 2 kids. Or there was actually 4 kids, but you know what I'm talking about. So
I know what you're saying.
That was a good memory.
I didn't have this memory until I even asked you about Paradise Cove. There was a Funny or Die beach party years ago at Paradise Cove. That's where I had the idea to start the Zach Morris' Trash series. Literally at Paradise Cove. There was a beach party. Like it was a Funny or Die, like day off work. Should have just been having a beer, eating a hot dog. But I had the idea. I just had it sitting there at the beach. And then I pitched it to my boss who was like in line for food at the time and kind of brushed it off.
Was it the ambient? Like, why?
I don't know what I was just, I'm an idea guy sometimes. And I was just like in my head thinking about it. It just like clicked in my brain. I don't know where I remember it clicked in my brain. And I was like, what if this thing could be a series or something? I think at the time I thought podcast, which is very ironic, all things considered now. But I just had this like seed of an idea. And I like got so excited and I ran over to my boss who was literally in line to get food and was like, yeah, like we'll talk about it later. Like it's our day off. Like, can you please not bother me?
But do you think like being at Paradise Cove and being at the beach and
Maybe
that sparked.
Maybe, I don't know.
Like the beach episodes in your brain, and
it's possible.
like,
I think I'm unlocking memories of butter sandwiches and being brushed off by my boss. But,
let's start another podcast about things that you don't remember.
Oh my God, we could be there all day on that one, folks. But yeah, that's a fun little Paradise Cove fact. Zach Morris's trash videos were birthed there in a weird little way. And that brings us to the Malibu Sands Beach for this finding a sponsor storyline, which, if you're tracking the structure of the script, is kind of like, do we really need it? I guess it's another move, but it doesn't really pay off or anything, like who sponsors who or what this means. It's just kind of there to move the story along.
But at the top of the scene, Kelly walks in with a small child.
Yeah.
Brings her back to her really shitty parents,
right.
Mr. and Mrs. Osgood, because Jill was playing too close to the water.
Yeah.
What is going on with these people?
They don't like their daughter, and they're trying to get rid of her. And Kelly ruined their plan.
They only have one daughter, by the way, unless we don't know that there's another daughter or son buried under the sand.
You don't need to back up to not like your kid.
Or playing close by the water again and got swept up by a riptide. Listen, if you only have one kid, you should probably take care of that one kid.
Hey, look, I don't care how many kids you have. You should probably take care of them.
Well, I have 4. So
right.
I mean,
so you're allowed to, every now and then, one gets through the cracks. I get it. They're going to play a little too close to the ocean.
I only have 2 hands, Dashel. So, there's 2 of them are going to.
So you can only hit 2 kids at once. I get it. The Osgoods actually have triplets.
No. With that, I have 2 feet as well. So I'm covered.
Yeah, it's like UFC. This whole thing of like, one thing I do really like is Scott Gale's like music here when it's Screech's turn to get the sponsor. Isn't
it's
it so fun?
Obnoxious.
You don't like it?
It's so fucking obnoxious.
It's
listen, the music that Scott Gale does throughout this entire episode, I'm like, dude, really?
Yeah,
I mean,
he was having fun.
Really.
He was having fun.
Is that what you call it? Okay.
I hear fun. I hear a guy. I'm blanking on the other guy's name, so pardon me, Scott, if you're out there in Radio Land, Mr. Gale. It seems like they were just like getting to try new things, similar to Don. Don is, if you kind of look at the shots in this episode, he tries different like close-ups and mediums, and I think everyone was getting to experiment more because you were outside of the studio. And Scott was no exception. I mean, what you get is this like very strange music cue as Screech waddles over. I mean, it sells it, his little goofy walk.
That goofy walk is so like, it's like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, totally. It's cartoon. Yeah, completely.
So good.
And this dad, who is like the spitting image of the child, but of course not related. He looks like Mr. Dewey, honestly. Similar energy. But yeah, Screech can't catch a break. Kid kicks him, and Lisa would rather spit on him than have her family sponsor him.
Yeah, that was pretty cold.
What is that?
Like he
this?
basically asked, like, "Hey, could you sponsor me?" And she's like, "No,
no." She's like, "My family hates you." Like, okay,
yeah. Like they wouldn't even sponsor you for a medical. Like, what does she say? Something about like,
it's like it's really unnecessarily harsh. My family wouldn't sponsor you for medical research. Yeah,
that's Lisa.
Although,
and then Zach walks over,
and she's like, baby, honey, sweetie, like, anything." Anything for you.
The Turtle family wants the pleasure of sponsoring you.
And we will roll out the red carpet, Mr. Morris. Like, Zach is Mr. Popular. He could have had a million different people sponsor him, including, by the way, his wealthy computer selling parents. Or I guess they're not members. I don't think Mr. Carosi would have minded. And Zach whisks Stacy away here to say we need to have a serious talk at Paradise Cove. What a name. Almost, I mean, it's definitely romantic. I have here my notes, Mark Paul. Those water guns, do you recognize them? You should.
Well, I recognize them because, I feel like you're setting me up. I recognize them because my kids have those and we play with those, at the pool. Why should I know what those are, though?
You should, though, just because that...
Did I do a commercial for them?
No, you didn't. Although maybe, I don't know. I don't know your whole history. That would be the classic yellow and green Super Soaker. Introduced this year, 91. Mystery solved. This year was 1991. It was developed on accident by a rocket scientist. That's a real thing. And originally called the Power Drencher before it was rebranded. But that Super Soaker model, the yellow-green Super Soaker 50, like, In 1991, that thing hit the scene like a goddamn meteorite. It was just like everywhere instantly. It changed the earth. I didn't know a single child growing up that did not have one, at least one. And they're still around. You can still get that gun.
Oh, yeah. I have a few.
Yeah, I bet you do. Why not? It's fun. It's the summertime. And the Malibu Sands lobby to get this dun-dun-dun information. Well, first we get that Slater and Jesse are fighting because he says she can't drive, and he's right. But it's like a sexist thing. But it's like...
A few things here. I'm going to give you another lesson here.
Please.
Educate you.
I'm always ready to learn. Yeah.
Yeah. She says, it does not take a male brain to drive one, referring to an ATV.
Yeah.
Jesse, you drive cars. You ride motorcycles. So
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
I guess I knew it, but I didn't think about it. But you're right. You ride it. It's like a animal or something. It's not like
you're
driving.
You're a rider. You're a motorcycle rider. You don't say I'm a motorcycle driver.
That makes sense.
Yeah. You fly planes.
Sure.
You don't drive a plane. You don't ride a plane.
I mean, you could ride a plane. I saw Tom Cruise do that in a Mission Impossible. It was pretty cool. He rides the shit out of that plane. Yeah. But in general, you don't. I get it. That's another free plug. We're plugging a lot of stuff for free today. Yeah. Mission Impossible, good franchise. And we get this douchebag, Craig. How many one-syllable nemeses of Zach will show up this season? Because we got Craig and we got Jeff.
Oh, both names I can't stand, by the way.
They're just kind of... trying to think of Craigs I've met that I enjoy their company.
Chad. Steve.
Chad, well, the Chad and JT guys have like reclaimed Chad. I feel like those guys have like taken Chad back. We gotta get
those guys on this
Gotta
podcast.
Get them on.
I want to get those guys. Let's get them on for a beach episode.
We're running out of runway room. I mean, we better. That'd be great.
Are we really? How many do we have? How many?
We have 2 left.
Isn't this? Okay, well, let's get Leah and let's get Chad and JT.
Leah, sorry, you got bumped. You got bumped for Chad and JT. They could only make this week. Oh my God. Yeah, I would love to. What great combo of beach guests. I have here in my notes, Stacy stole Chad's jacket. They're wearing the same jacket.
Craig's jacket.
Oh, sorry. Whoops. All these guys look alike to me.
But he does look like a Chad, by the way.
Big time. I mean, this is just like, if you look like
casting.
This, you are up. It's perfect casting. I always wonder about people like, God, now I'm blanking on people's, like, there are certain people with faces like a villain. You know what I mean? Like, or faces like a douchebag. I'm sorry to say it, but like this guy just has like classic douche face. What does he do when the camera stops rolling? What does he have to walk around like that?
I don't know.
It's gotta be hard.
His name is Benjamin King.
Thank
so
you.
I'm going to give it out there. He's worked on a lot of things. I'm sure he's a lovely guy, but just his look in this getup is just great casting. Yeah. He was actually a little known fact here when I was looking at his IMDb resume. He worked with Tiffany on a pilot called Stroller Wars back in 2006. Yeah, look at that. Did my homework there.
Homework on the homework on the homework. Holy shit.
But boy, this guy's eyebrows, what he can do with his eyebrows.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to watch this episode and just look at Benjamin's eyebrows and the work that he does with his eyebrows. They go up, and they kind of not like that. Like they literally like a cartoon. They go at a like a slant, like up like that. Not an arch, but a. Yeah.
We're making little fingers and motions. It's good. It's good radio because we're doing it with our hands, so you can't hear it. But we're doing it.
But he's so good in this role. I mean, I hate him.
Yeah, he does. He does this type of boyfriend in film and television, especially coming off the 80s, early 90s. Like comes from money, kind of like is like vague, waspy stuff. Is like he plays it very well. It's a very unlikable character you see in a lot of movies and TV.
He reminds me of is like Dermot Mulroney.
I can see that. Yeah,
it's got that kind of look to him.
Yeah. Totally.
I'm sure they're both lovely guys, but
great people.
They just have this. They have these looks that just make you go, "Ay."
Yeah, some people just have like it's just energy and it's like I don't know. I mean, it is it's also the way he's dressed too. He's like dressed like he's visiting a country. He's at a beach club, but that's very different than a country club. And we're in Act 2, just like that. Craig wore his like khakis and long sleeve shirt to the beach. Holy Christ, dude! You must be burning up in those things.
But look at the stripes, Dashel. They match the stripes of the Malibu sands in the background.
They're similar.
They're vertical.
They're vertical, but you had like blue and white. These are like mauve and navy, it looks like.
It's interesting because I'm noticing that he's wearing khakis. I mean, this is basically the same getup as Zach.
Yeah. He's preppy for real.
Better, yeah, he's preppy for real.
Zach would never wear this to the beach, though. I mean, come on.
No. But my preppy's like a little edgier.
Right. Preppy with an edge. There's the Zach Morris brand. I've really grown fond of seeing Mario's like reaction acting. I really enjoy how he looks like so shocked by these developments and so like disgusted this guy's on Zach's turf. Like the faces he's making are just like, oh man, this is like, he's like trying to be a good friend. I mean, it is really funny the way Mario played Slater in these moments where he has to like react without, doing much.
Yeah. As much as he's trying to be a good friend, my female friends are not being very nice friends to me because they're all over this Craig guy.
Yeah. Ooh, isn't he dreamy?